Oh, hi, friends. Great news. Great news. I ain't even upset about it. I'm so used to it now. 13 times. 13 times my favorite professional sports teams, the Bengals, the Reds, and our beloved Blue Jackets, have made the playoffs in my lifetime. Over 20 years. 21 years now? Getting pretty old. Holy crap. 21 years. 13 playoff appearances by my three favorite teams. And never have any of them ever advanced to the second round. I mean, it's one thing when Marvin Lewis goes out there and loses 6 straight playoff games, or the Reds go out there and blow a 2-0 series lead to the Giants one year. First time in baseball history the National League had that happen, by the way. But then the Blue Jackets, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, the Blue Jackets. I had mediocre hopes for them going into the playoffs. I knew they wasn't the strongest, but I knew they had a chance to, make some noise. They go out there and win the first 2 games against the Washington Capitals in Washington. I ain't a statistician. I don't know the stats behind that, but I'd like to know how many times the team goes out there and wins the first 2 games on the road and then loses 4 straight games. 4 straight games. I'm not even surprised. I felt like this was going to happen. I just feel like there's a thing with my sports teams that they're not allowed to win, playoff series. If there's anybody you guys want to see losing the playoffs, hit me up. I'll start cheering for them this week. They'll be gone in a second, I promise. It's amazing. 2-0 series lead. These boys go back home. I mean, yeah, they shouldn't. I mean, yeah, you're going to lose 1 or 2 to the Capitals. They messed up game 2. They messed up, or game 3 and 4, sure. Series is tied. We go back game 5 to Washington. Absolutely dominated them. That third period in Washington game was tied. We should have scored. We should have won. We didn't. Instead, game 5, what happens? We mess up with a line change, give these guys a free goal. That's the reason we went to overtime in the first place. Mental mistake. Then we make more mistakes in overtime. Then overtime happens, and you can vouch for Bob all you want on that deflection, but at the end of the day, he was, trying to make the original save clear out of his crease. The reason to deflect, the whole net was open on that deflection. I love Bob. I think people discredit Bob way too much. They always say, well, Bob's chokes in the playoffs. If you watch the games, the team chokes just as much as he does, if not more. I told people before the Cap series, they're like, oh, the Blue Jackets are going to win. They're going to win because the Caps are going to choke. That's the reason. No, boys. You don't know how this works. We don't win playoff series over here in Ohio, guys. That's not how any of this ever works. Nobody chokes harder than my beloved Blue Jackets, Reds, and Bengals. Nobody. I don't want any comparison. Nobody compares to my 3 teams. Now, the Bruins actually are going to make a run for it, I hear, actually. Seeing you're going to a Game 7 in the Leafs. Someone told me they blew a 3-0 lead at one point, but no. You guys can't compete. At least you've made it to the second round. Have you ever... Imagine 20 years of sports and never witnessing the second round of any playoffs. At least we got the Buckeyes to look forward to, I guess, right? But that's not professional. That's college. And thankfully, there isn't a playoff system for that, or we bounce in the first round there, too. Who am I kidding? I got the playoffs now. And who am I kidding? We got bounced in the first round there. We're going to be coming up on signing guys soon. We're going to have to sign Panarin. We're going to have to sign Werenski. We have to sign Jones. We got 1 year left of that. Next year, do or die. I just think, honestly, watching them, everybody says the Blue Jackets look so great with Werenski, Panarin, Jones, and they should be. Bob, you look at those 4 pieces, you should be able to build a really good team around those 4 guys. And it seems like we just make, still, mental mistake. I mean, look how many penalties we took against them. We didn't score in the power play the last 16 tries we had. We scored in the first 2 games and went 0 for 16. Couldn't execute a power play. But what we could do was give them a power play. I think they ended up 50%. I might be exaggerating, but it felt like 50%. Every time they'd go on a power play, they were scoring there for the first 4 games. Then we might have actually stopped them game 5. Surprisingly, we finally stopped their power play. But man, all them penalties, the refs are a little trigger happy on the penalties on both sides of the ice. I can't even say they was biased towards the Caps or the Blue Jackets. Both teams, there's a lot of penalties. When you got 11, 12 penalties, 18, 20 penalty minutes in a game, that's a lot of penalties when they're all minors. But you just shoot yourself in the foot. Do we blame Torts? I question it. Do we blame him? I like blaming everybody else that manages my teams. But hey, how do you get caught like that? How do you get caught giving up goals on line switches in the playoffs? You can't be doing that. How'd you not settle your team down and get these? They looked flustered. They looked like they didn't know what they was doing sometimes when they came down on the ice. That might have just been me, but they defensively, it felt like they broke down a lot. Like that time the announcer blamed Bob for letting in a save on a 2-on-1. Letting a goal in on a 2-on-1. Yeah, that was Bob's fault. That's the reason the Blue Jackets are bad. Bob lets in too many 2-on-1 goals because that's his fault. Okay. Otherwise, though, that's the end of me complaining for the day. I'm a little bit disappointed my Blue Jackets couldn't win. A lot of bit disappointed my Blue Jackets couldn't win. Maybe next year. Or not. I'm on pace for like 80 years of never seeing a second round of the playoffs. I hope. Hope I'm alive to see 80 years of no playoffs. That'd be something else. Otherwise, though, guys, best of luck to your teams in the playoffs. Go Caps. Go I gotta cheer for the Caps. Imagine. Go Caps. Go Caps, go. I got the Leafs beating the Bruins, or I'd say go Bruins, but the Leafs can get bounced in the second round if they want. That's fine. I mean, I got the Devils over Tampa Bay. That didn't go too well. You guys laughed at me for that one. Anyway, though, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.